to music first, always.
We are unstoppable.
Open the frontiers to make people meet people.
Music is not fireworks. Music is feeling.
You're good to go.
Thank you both for the music.
This is Vote for the Music, the Eurovision podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Vote for the Music, the Eurovision podcast. I'm Benjamin Widdybank.
And I'm Tadeusz.
Now today we are concluding our quickfire reviews of the first half of the second semi-final in the Eurovision Song Contest 2024. We're at song 8, which is closing the first half, and that is the Armenian entry, which is Jako by Ladaniva.
I was heavily hyped for Armenia this year. This band won me over very quickly. Jacqueline has such immense charm and stage charisma that they would have qualified if they didn't sing anything on the stage. On top of that, I loved their most popular song, Sakare. I was really curious what they have in store for Eurovision. So imagine my disappointment when it turned out what they have in store is literally what they already have stored. Specifically Jako, one of the songs fleeing their album. Before it was announced as a Eurovision entry, it was the least popular song in the entire album. I guess Jacqueline and Ben thought that it is underrated.
Now I have a theory as to why they chose this song in particular. Obviously there are questions as to why they just didn't make a new one altogether. But the reason why I think they looked at the album and went, this is the song for Eurovision, is because I think they're betting on trying to recreate the success of what Moldova did 2 years ago when Zobzazov returned to the contest and sang a frankly ridiculous, entirely balmy, fairly amateurish throwback to 2000s Eurovision, and then managed to come second in the televote because it was so different to anything else in the contest. Also helped it came after a long string of ballads, which meant it woke everyone up who had fallen asleep. But it was a big success story. And I think they looked at Jako on their album and went, this is a song that can do exactly the same. It sounds like it's from Eurovision 2008, to be honest, a time when half the songs sounded like this, and it was entirely overpopulated with this kind of stuff. But now, nothing else is like this. Eurovision's changed quite a lot, and Armenia going, okay, we're going to do something a bit like this again. And I think they're betting that it will pay off because of how different it is, because of how unique it will sound. Even though it isn't the strongest thing in the world, I think they know that they can just pull off a 3-minute, really solid performance of fun that everyone will just be up and dancing around their living rooms to. So that's why I think they chose Jako as the one to go to Eurovision with.
Some of Ladaniva songs are not listener-friendly or just straight-up boring. Jako, on the other hand, is quiet, pleasant for the ear, and provides us with 2.5 minutes of quiet a good time. We can sing and dance along to the sound of ethnic Armenian instruments, and feel the general feeling of festivity. So while it's not the worst choice for Eurovision, is it a good choice for Eurovision? Why didn't Ladaniva just write a new song? I just find sending an album song to Eurovision very inappropriate. While Jako is quite a fun ride, and Jacqueline's energetic performance obviously turns it up to 11, it still falls short of my expectations. At the end of the day, it is mostly going to fill the space during its semi-final, just as its original album. Does it qualify?
Oh, come on, absolutely. They would have to really mess it up for this not to qualify. This is a televote-only semi-final. This is going to create 3 minutes of fun on stage. It's going to grab people's attention. It also really appeals to the Eastern vote as well. It has everything it needs to get people to pick up their phones and vote for it. So, yeah, of course this is going to qualify. And I think when it actually does get to the final, this will be a big surprise for people with just how high that televoter gets. If successful, and it manages to do the same that Moldova did 2 years ago, which, by the way, no one expected to be second in the televote, I think this could get significantly high up that televote leaderboard. As for the juries, it's doubtful to get a whole lot of points, but if they manage to vocally pull it off and put on quite a slick performance, I don't see any reason why the juries might not throw it something. But I absolutely think the televote is 100% going to rally behind this in both the semi-final and the final.
It's not the kind of music we see often in Europe, and that helps it. But this is Armenia. This is Ladaniva. You people can do better than this. We saw Ladaniva doing better. We saw Armenia doing better. Look at what Net delivered last year. Jako as an entry is somewhat of a capitulation, because it stands absolutely no chance of winning the competition, and I think Armenia has means to fight for a win at Eurovision.
Yes, I mean, obviously there is the point that it does seem like Armenia aren't trying for a win, but they're also giving us something pretty solid that's going to definitely appeal to a certain type of voter, and they know that is going to appeal to a certain type of voter. They're here to have fun, see if they can get a good result, and represent Armenian culture and Armenian values. So I don't think a win is actually important to them right now. And there's also loads of countries who aren't really trying to win, and they're entering far worse stuff than this. So I'm personally very happy with it. It might not be the best song from their repertoire. Yes, it might not be the most intelligent thing in the world. Yes, it might sound like a naff throwback to a Eurovision of a bygone age, which I was never particularly fond of in the first place. But for what it is, I think it works quite well, and I think it will be quite a nice, joyous 3 minutes to see during the semi-final and hopefully the final. So thank you for listening to our quickfire review there of Armenia's entry for this year's Eurovision Song Contest. Now, we have completed our quickfire reviews of the first half of the second semi-final. So that means, of course, we will move on to the second half of the second semi-final. But before that, tomorrow, please join us for an omnibus edition of all our reviews of this semi-final half. That is songs 1 to 8 of semi-final 2, which you'll be able to find tomorrow. All of those reviews in performance order together as one podcast if you would like to listen to the reviews in that context. Then the day after that, we'll be back with our review of Latvia's entry, which is opening the second half of the second semi-final. But until then, remember to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere else you might get your podcasts. And that includes YouTube, where you can subscribe to us, leave us a like, write a comment down below, and also you can interact with our Q&As on Spotify as well, or leave a review on Apple and Amazon Podcasts. But until then, thank you so very much for listening, and remember to vote for the music.
This is to music first, always.
We are unstoppable.
Open the frontiers to make people meet people.
Music is not fireworks. Music is feeling.
You're good to go.
Thank you, vote for the music!
This is Vote for the Music, the Eurovision podcast.